Welcome to part 1 of Things Mormons Do. This is the beginning of a series where I share anonymous stories from people who are in the Mormon church. So today we are going to uncover some sex scandals, cringy ass missionary stories, a lot of cheating, some Mormons doing some badass rebellious shit, and I'm here for it. So before we get started, I want to clarify, obviously this doesn't represent every Mormon, this doesn't represent every religious person, but I just feel like a lot of religious people put themselves on a moral high ground to everybody. They think that, oh, our church is the true church and everyone else sucks and we're the most holy and we're the best. But I think religious and non-religious people can come together to enjoy the fuckery that is about to go down. It's time to air out the dirty Mormon laundry. This first story was the inspiration for this entire YouTube series because of how bad it is. Let's get started. I heard of a few couples that used to sit and visit instead of going to classes that eventually did some swinging together. So they all started fucking each other. And they all got divorced and then left the church. That's why you don't skip class, folks. So there is a set. I don't know how many couples were involved. Let's assume it's 2. That is so kinky. How many were there? So Mormons have 3 classes that they go to a day. Well, back when this story was out, now they have 2. It's the most sacred sacrament meeting, and then they have individual classes for either men and women or men and women together. But Mormons pressure each other so much to go to all the classes. That's just what it is culturally. You have to go to every class. If you don't go to every class, you're missing out on spiritual blessings and spiritual inspirations. So the fact that these couples skipped class to go visit and hang out, I am so intrigued. If there was ever anything scandalous happening in any of my wards, I was oblivious to it. I had no idea that any of this was going on. This is so exciting though. Like, that makes me so happy for them, because Mormon couples look so vanilla, so innocent, and to know that half of them are kinky fucks, I love it. This makes me so happy, actually. Like, good on them. You guys go skip class and start fucking each other. Yes, please. That's insane. I don't know if any of them had children. It sounds like they were young in my eyes, or like they were old. I don't know. I want to know more. I want to know what ages they were. I want to know what they looked like. Just teasing. I never want to expose this, but I'm sure they'll come out and share it someday, because they all have divorced now and left the church. But that's just, God, I love that. That's just so much juice that just fills my little soul of like, God, couples sleeping around, skipping class, and all fucking each other. Whew. They would have been excommunicated for sure. For sure. This next one is a classic. This happens a lot to Mormons. I heard a story on my mission about 2 sister missionaries running out of gas, and they had a bottle of water, and they prayed to the Lord that the water became gas as they poured it into the gas tank. So they did, and it was the end of that car's story. Dude, fucking idiots. Like, wouldn't you want to pray before you poured it in? Just sat there and then prayed, hey, can you turn this into gas? I guess that doesn't require enough faith. I guess because of their faith, for them to have it work, because there's no going back. Once you're pouring it and it doesn't turn into gas, like, I guess that shows the faith aspect of it. Like, I see why they justified while pouring it, but like, these bitches, like, you think you're Jesus? You think you can turn water into shit? No. You're not Jesus. No, bitch. No. Can you imagine going up to your mission president and telling your mission president this story? I bet he made it a learning lesson for everybody, even though they just ruined a fucking car. Like, I bet he was like, see guys, this is a lesson on, because to me, that's obvious proof that God doesn't exist. But to them, they were like, oh, sisters. They probably blamed it on this. Well, it was the sisters' fault. They were stupid. But it was like, but if it had worked, it would have been a miracle and they would have loved the sisters, right? Like, that shit's funny. These, like, I love it when religious people try to make miracles come true and then it doesn't. Like, those people who, like, do the fake miracles and get caught. That shit's my favorite. Like, where they hire, like, a fake person in a wheelchair to get up and walk across the stage. And then they find out that they were never in a wheelchair in the first place. And they, like, mask it as some big ol' fun mystery. And I'm like, I'm so happy you got caught. There was a guy who would, like, hit people and say that he's smacking the devils out of them. I love people. I love people. This next one is just terrible. This missionary better fucking straighten his shit out. I hope he's a good adult that's less stupid today. This is just rude. It's just rude. Okay. When my hubby was a ward mission leader, one of the missionaries started teaching an investigator about how their mentally handicapped child was a fence sitter in heaven. And that's why he was given a handicapped body in this life. So he pretty much was like, your child was a fence sitter, and then I'm gonna give him a handicapped body. But like, he went up to some parents that had a handicapped child and said that, like, so I don't know if non-religious people understand how rude this is. So, you know, in heaven, there's a war between heaven and hell. Like, Satan and God were battling in heaven, right? That's how Mormons think. And then Satan wanted people to not have free agency, and then God wanted people to have free agency. So a fence sitter was someone who was considered a lazy piece of shit who couldn't decide which side to go for. So they're essentially saying your son was mediocre before he came to earth. That's why God gave him a broken body. So like anybody born with cancer, like, you're not a good person in the heavens. You weren't good before you came to earth. Like, you're ill and you're sick and you're injured because you're a shitty person and God's punishing you. What a piece of shit. Genuinely. Terrible person. I'm happy everybody in the room was like, and these were investigators. These weren't other Mormons. They went into someone's house, people that like wanted to learn about the Mormon church, and fucking like came in there. This little 16-year-old, 19-year-old little asshole told them that their son is being punished because he was bad in heaven. Ew. Ew. Gross. Ugh. Have you ever seen someone die in church? Yep, died during sacrament meeting. Old man just died. How about a lady so high at a ward dinner, we had to call 911 to get her help, and she died a few days later. That is so sad. I've had someone like have a heart attack or a seizure in church, and it's just sad. Like, that's just sad. All the children that are in the sacrament meeting, holy fuck. She was high during a ward dinner. Dude, people were talking bad about her after that. Mormons aren't nice about drug overdoses and things like that. They just, well, people in general aren't nice about it, but like I feel like they just were like, yeah, so sad, she died. Like, nah. They weren't like, oh my God, I didn't know she was struggling with something. I didn't know this. Like, that's just fucking, like if I was a Mormon, like that, when Mormons get caught and the whole ward or congregation knows about the bad thing that they did, it ruins your fucking life. I've never had that happen to me. Like, after I left the church, I guess, but that didn't count. Like, if I was still a Mormon and my whole ward found out about something bad that I did, it would really fuck me up. Like, I don't know, her family. I just know that, like, obviously someone overdosing or, you know, dying in front of a group of people is going to be traumatizing, or any group of people. But I feel like if she was with a knitting club or like some like cool she was with her like golfing club or something, they wouldn't be as mean as Mormons would be afterwards. Generalizations, like a lot of people are nice, but like I just know that like being religious and doing something that religion doesn't support, and then something bad happened to you because you did that bad thing, they're just gonna be like, see, that's why you don't do drugs. See, that's why you be more religious. Everybody pray more, and then you won't get addicted to anything. Like that's kind of their attitude essentially. When someone like has something bad happen to them, that's how they are with rape victims too. They just blame the victim, and it's like, idiots. I hate this kind of stuff. Most Mormons will get this one. This is a really short one. I heard of a Relief Society president and an Elder Quorum's president having an affair in a small town, Utah. That is big news. So Relief Society is like the women's society. Picture like old Britain and a bunch of snobby women sitting around drinking tea, talking about how great their life was. Just kidding. I really liked Relief Society when I was a Mormon because it was the class that was like the cheesiest and the cutest and all about love. Like I liked Relief Society. But if you are the Relief Society president, you are the example to the women. You are a modeled citizen of the best woman in that ward. Everybody looks up to you. You're like the leader. You are the most righteous. You follow the most rules. Like you're just the best person in the ward. And then the men, it's the same thing for the men, but it's called Elders Quorum instead of Relief Society. So the fact that they both had an affair with each other is insane. Like I wonder if they were both sleeping around with different people and they just like me, or if like they like fell in love because they have to work together. Like that's terrible. I don't condone cheating. Don't fucking cheat on people, but like that's savage to sleep with like the other leader. Anyway, that's fucking crazy. So a lot of these stories are people just having sex in places that I'm jealous of. I just wish I had sex in these locations. When I was with my ex-husband, we had sex in the Sacrament prep room during my sister's reception. Kinky motherfuckers. Imagine I think a lot of people do that, like during someone else's wedding, you're like all emotional and you're like, remember our wedding? Oh my God, yes. And then you sneak off somewhere to sleep around. So it's not as scandalous. I feel like that's pretty normal for couples that are like a little kinky. That's kind of hot. I'm not gonna lie. Good on you. Good on you. That's chill. Another sex one. Okay. I used to have sex with my boyfriend in an unused room or two in the church during meetings. During church, they snuck off into an unused room and had sex. That is so easy to get caught. There are children running around everywhere. Let me finish the story. We even had sex in a closet of the classroom. It locks from the inside. During Sunday class, the joys of showing up early. During a class. So I guess they snuck in there before the class started and like really got hot and heavy, and then the class came in and they had to hide in the closet. I think that's what she's saying. Damn. All the public exposure kinks are all just so into this. That's crazy. Okay, so those are all the stories I have for you today. See, Mormons aren't so scary. They're just like everybody else. They're ignorant sometimes and say stupid shit to people who have disabled children. They have sex in the craziest places. I didn't really understand Mormon libidos. I feel so sad that I didn't do more terrible things while I was Mormon. I have to share other people's Mormon stories because I was so good. I didn't even hear these stories till I got to college. I didn't start hearing about like Mormon scandals till I got to college. Like, my sister told me that in her ward, there was a couple that like slept together, and that was the only time I've ever heard of like any sort of Mormon cheating. I couldn't even fathom that Mormons could be bad. Like while I was Mormon, I was like, they're the most innocent, sacred people. They are just God's gift to the fucking earth. We are holier, we are better, we are the best. Dude, even like, okay, so I was looking at a post that one of my Mormon friends posted the other day, she was like, hey, I'm looking to do more service opportunities and volunteering opportunities in my local community. I'm just really sad about the state that the world is in, and I want to find more ways to help out. Which is an amazing post. I love that kind of shit. I'm like, yeah, girl, go help, go do shit, like volunteer. But what was upsetting was in the comments section, people, like a lot of Mormons were telling her shit that was just so offensive. They were like, oh honey, your smile is enough. Your bright testimony of Jesus Christ, just go talk about Jesus with people. How about you pray more for opportunities? Literally, guys, she's asking you for volunteer opportunities in the community, and you're just shutting her down and telling her to smile more. Like, that's not what she asked for. She's not looking for attention. She just wants to know, hey, is there an animal shelter? Is there this nearby? You know what I mean? And then this one guy had the audacity to tell her, you're pretty enough. Your beauty is enough of a help to charity. Like, just go smile at people. I thought it was just one Mormon or two, because a normal person would be like, oh, I know this shelter needs help. I know that like this community garden, like there's so many opportunities in a community that need volunteer work. You'd think that these Mormons could come up with like one or two valid. None of them did. I was the only one that posted like the Utah volunteer thing. And I'm gonna be honest, anytime I go to any volunteering shit, there are more non-Mormons than Mormons. Literally, every volunteering place I've ever been to has less than one Mormon and sometimes no Mormons. The homeless shelters that I've seen or like hung out at or have volunteered at, like, I don't do a lot of volunteering. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I've been to a couple in Utah, and I know for a fact that these Mormons that think that they're so fucking generous aren't going to half of them. They really aren't. Like, I don't see them volunteering on a regular basis. And I'm like, you guys, this is literally a requirement for your religion to do this, and 50% of the population in Utah is Mormon. So I'm just sitting there like, why is there one or no Mormons volunteering anywhere? Obviously, I go to a lot of animal shelters, and Mormons don't care about animals as much, but like, that's also a personal opinion. I just have observed that in my personal life. But like, I'm just like, yeah, just tell a woman to smile more. Don't worry, honey. You're just a blessing because you share the gospel a lot. Like, you talking about Christ is enough of a charity, is enough help. To try to go up to a homeless person and tell them, I really wanted to brighten your day, so here's a photo of me smiling. You know what I mean? It's just stupid. It's not applicable. Just give actual advice or shut the fuck up. Anyway, that was my rant. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will be posting these more, and I hope you guys like the commentary with it, because it's pretty easy to go and like read different anonymous stories, but it's just fun to have someone read it with you and laugh at it with you and like bond. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good day, and I'm happy you came here. Sorry, I've been a nervous little wreck, but yeah, if you guys like these anonymous stories, personally, I really enjoyed the kinky ones because of my job. I get really scared to do kinky stuff in public. I do film public pornos, but genuinely, I am not like that sexually. Like, I couldn't go into public and do sexual things, especially at a church. So I'm just fascinated with like the audacity and the bravery of these people, and the amount of rebellion that they have inside of them, and the amount of like sexual tension built up, that they're just like, fuck God, fuck my eternal marriage. They take that shit seriously. So the fact that people are doing it, like, just blows my mind. I just never would have thought that that's going on in the Mormon church, and it just, other people probably aren't as shocked as me, and they're like, yeah, listen, we hear shit like that all the time. But to me, this is shocking, and probably to a lot of people who aren't Mormon that know Mormons, like, this is just fun. But okay, anyway, I hope you guys have a good day. All of my social medias and links to things are linked below. Yeah, I think my OnlyFans right now is $3.50. So if you wanna, you know, watch an ex-Mormon do some naughty things and to see me naked, there's an option for you. If not, that's chill. I post mediocre pics on OnlyFans. I mean, mediocre pics on Instagram. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good day, and see ya. I guess that was it. I want to have sex in a Mormon closet.